So they're really easy to drink, they're delicious, and you can't actually tell how much vodka is in your drink. So it's dangerous. So measure out 30 mils of vodka and add that to your double old fashioned glass. Then Kahlua, 30 mils, so just equal parts. I've always done equal parts, but there's some other recipes out there that change the measurements up. Now fill your glass with ice. And add about 45 mils of milk. If you are pouring out the carton, I usually like to give it a good shake, and it adds this real nice frothy texture to your drink. Well, probably the most common way to make it is using a blender. I like doing it this way because then you obviously get the fresh pineapple in as well. So to start off, white rum, so Bacardi. I'm going to measure a double shot, so 60 mils. Then next, pineapple juice, so 90 mils. And then coconut cream, so about 30-45 mils. Then add 5 or 6 pineapple pieces to your blender base and add a scoop of ice. So there's probably about these are fairly large cubes, but there's probably about 10 ice cubes in there. Make sure you have a good quality blender and just pulse it. Now transfer it to your glass. So start with a hurricane glass and fill that with ice. And next up, 45 mils of vodka. So I'm using Absolute. And peach liqueur. So there's some recipes out there that call for shaking this cocktail. Personally, I've just always built it. So 15 mils. And then we've got 45 mils of orange juice. So this one's Bickford's. And I just want to top this up a little bit with ice. And last ingredient, 45 mils of cranberry juice. So you want to be a little bit more gentle when you're pouring this one in, and then you'll get a nice sort of layering effect. And for garnish, I'm just going to use a slice of orange and a maraschino cherry and just skewer those. So cut your orange in half and then cut a slice. So skewer your maraschino cherry and then straight through that orange. In martini glasses, and start with a cocktail shaker and 45 mils of vodka. So today using Ketel One. Then next up, Cointreau, 15 mils. Then cranberry juice. So there's a lot of recipes out there that call for like the minuscule amount, like 20 mils, 30 mils of cranberry juice, but I find that a lot of people don't like it, and it's too heavy on the vodka, so I step it up and go 45 mils of cranberry juice. It's up to personal taste, but this is just from the response that I get. Then a squeeze of fresh lime juice. So like just a few drops, just a little dash. Then fill your cocktail shaker with ice and give it a good shake. Double strain into that chilled martini glass. So for the flamed orange zest, I'm just going to slice off a swath of orange peel and light a match. Just make sure you burn off the sulfur before you get it in your drink. Let it burn for a little bit, and then just gently heat the orange peel. and then squeeze over the top of the drink. Right, this one is my personal favourite. It's really heavy on the rum. It's quite a strong cocktail. But I'm going to start with a Jamaican rum, so Karuba, so 30 mils. And next I'll be using El Dorado Demerara rum. The original recipe does call for an amber Martinique rum, but this is one of my favourite rums here, so. You can play with different rums to your liking, but the base recipe is 60 mils of rum, 1 amber rum and 1 Jamaican dark rum. Next up I'll use a triple sec, so Cointreau, 15 mils, add that to the shaker. And then fresh lime juice, 22.5 mils. So 3/4 a shot added to the shaker. Then the next ingredient, orgeat, so 7.5 mils, so 1.5 bar spoons. And 10 mils for the sugar, so 2 bar spoons. Fill your cocktail shaker with ice and give it a good shake. Fill your double old-fashioned glass with crushed ice. And then strain. Garnish with a sprig of fresh mint. It's a simple mixed drink, so start with a tall glass and mix 45 mils of vodka. So today I'm using Absolute. And then fill your glass with ice. And then top with fresh orange juice. Then next up, add the Galliano, float that on top. So it's meant to be 15 mils. We, for some reason, always used to do 30 mils, so. If you did use 30 mils, it makes it a really sweet drink. So if you didn't know, Galliano is an Italian vanilla liqueur. And then for garnish, just a slice of orange. All right, so I'm going to be making it with 23rd Street Distillery's hybrid whiskey. So this one here is actually a blend of a Scotch and a bourbon. The average age of the Scotch is 5 years old, and the average age of the bourbon is 2, and then it's blended together and finished off in a bourbon barrel. So I'm going to fill my mixing glass with ice and measure out 60 mils of whiskey. Calls for a rye or a bourbon whiskey. And then 10 mils of sugar syrup. So 2 bar spoons. And then 2 dashes of bitters. So today I'm just using Angostura. And then you want to give that a good stir, about 25 seconds. So there's plenty of ice in there, adds dilution, chills the drink down. And then I'm going to strain it over fresh ice into a glass. Fresh ice. So plenty of ice in there. And then using your Hawthorn strainer or your Julep strainer, give it a strain. This is actually really light in colour, so I'm pretty keen to give this one a try. And you want to express the oils over the drink, and then rim the edge of the glass. So first of all, I'm going to start with my coupe glass, And I just want to, I can either keep it in the fridge or just add a single cube of ice and set that aside so the glass starts to chill. And next I want to grab my cocktail shakers, and I'm just going to pour a double shot, so 60 mils of Bacardi rum. You can use another white rum if you like. So 60 mils. And then you can fresh press your limes. I've got lime juice all pre-squeezed, ready to go. And I'm just going to pour 30 mils of lime juice. And then I've got 1:1 sugar syrup. And I'm going to pour 20 mils of sugar. And I'm going to fill my cocktail shaker with ice and give it a good shake. Grab my Hawthorn strainer. Just get rid of any extra liquid in the glass and strain that into the chilled coupe. You'll find that fills up the glass nicely. And once again, keep the garnish quite simple, just a lime wheel. So let's start with the tequila. So I've got a Blanco tequila. This is actually aged for 45 days, but 45 ml, 1.5 ounces of your preferred tequila, followed by Aperol. So an aperitif, subtle bitter liqueur, some grapefruit notes, rhubarb, 22.5 ml, 3/4 ounce. Then we have an almond syrup, and 15 ml, half an ounce of this. Nice, simple, easy to remember cocktail, 4 ingredients. Then we're adding fresh lime juice. Can't seem to find my press anywhere, so I'll have to settle for this, the juicer. Which I think is actually more efficient at juicing. 15 ml, half an ounce of fresh lime. And then add some ice. Give it a shake. And then we're going to serve it in a stemless wine. Some people call it a tulip glass with crushed ice. So we might just go ahead and strain it straight in first. I very often get asked where I get my glassware from as well. Mainly on the kind of vintage glassware. So secondhand stores, trash and treasure places, thrift shops, op shops. This particular one I received as a sample from a supplier. I recently purchased a lot of new glassware, so you'll see some pretty cool looking glassware on the channel in the next couple of videos. So plenty of crushed ice, keep it nice and cold, serve it with a straw. And for garnish, this one does, the original calls for a Tajin, what do you call it? Tajin, like it's a Mexican spice rub. I believe it has lime, chili, and something else. But I don't have it, so I'm going to substitute for chili flakes. So I've at least got some of it in there. Otherwise, a lime wheel, nice and simple. So there you have and it was actually originally served over crushed ice. It wasn't until the 1890s that the egg white was incorporated. So start with your bourbon. Same again, 60 ml, 2 ounces. And add that to your cocktail shaker, followed by fresh lemon juice. 22.5 ml, or 3/4 ounce. And then follow it up with the same measurement of simple syrup. So this is a 1:1 simple syrup, 22.5 ml or 3/4 ounce. So this has got egg white as well. So that's half an egg white. Throw that straight into the cocktail shaker. Now, if you don't want the egg white, you can completely omit it. That's fine. It's just going to change the texture of the drink. And start by giving it a dry shake. Dry shaking is just simply no ice. Now add ice to your cocktail shaker and give it a quick shake. And strain it over fresh ice. And for garnish, or to finish the drink, a few drops of Angostura bitters. And again, that's optional.